The Inspiration Centre at this year's IMEX provides a variety of presentation techniques, from traditional theatre style through to discussion groups, and finally the more intimate campfire sessions. Mike van der Vijver, you've been doing a presentation in the Campfire Sessions at this year's Inspiration Centre.
Yep.
Tell us all about it.
This was a session about designing better meetings, and in this specific case, it was focusing on how you do brainstorms.
And you had that, that word that I can't even begin to say,
Yeah.
that apparently you're going to tell us about. Tell us what the word is and explain what it all means.
Okay, the word is timranarsob.
That's the one.
Yeah, and it's actually not a word; it doesn't exist, but it is an anagram of a brainstorm.
Okay.
So the session was, if you do it this way, it's not a brainstorm; it's something that doesn't exist. Whereas if you do it this way, you design it properly, you give people the right rules and the right ways of actually getting the creativity out and making it into a shared experience of a group, then it's a brainstorm, a real brainstorm.
And of course, this is all about brainstorming effective meetings.
Yeah.
And what you were saying is that most of the time, actually, it could be done better.
Yes.
So what approach are you advocating people take?
That's a very, very broad question. I generally think that it all starts with the fact that, unfortunately, there is little clarity about what meeting objectives are. And if you have, let's say, the vague idea of, this is a meeting for networking, but that's not an objective. That's a process. It's a lot different. So, what does good networking for you as an organization in this specific meeting mean? Do you want 25 people to have new business cards at the end of your meeting? That's an objective. Or do you want 50 people to have had a meaningful conversation for at least 1 minute with another individual who's present? That's an objective. That you can measure. And from there on, in this case about networking, but you could do it for other reasons why you have meetings. From there on, you could start designing a program, because if you know that you want 50 people to have a meaningful conversation for 1 minute with 50 other people, then you have to do something. You can't just let it happen during coffee breaks, but you're not going to make your objective.
And this is an approach that my meeting is following. And,
Yes.
and essentially, the meetings you get involved with, you drill down to the objectives in such a way that it inspires creativity in the people who are involved. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of that has to do with mobilizing the knowledge which is in the meeting room and which all of the delegates have. Because I'm firmly convinced that thinking that only one person has all the knowledge about any topic these days is almost 19th century thinking. It's not 21st century thinking. And everybody knows it when they use social media, and everybody knows it when they think about crowdsourcing, but actually finding ways, forms, formats, designs to do this during live meetings is something that people apparently find very difficult, because otherwise not so many people would continue to do theatre setting, classroom teaching, lecturing, which we all know are not extremely effective.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because you've been doing a campfire session.
Yeah.
There are a variety of different techniques they're using at this year's IMEX. How have you found that?
Obviously, the most attractive bit about a campfire session is that it is a constant interaction, where it's not somebody who is telling people this is how you do it and then just leave it there, but it's a session where, with a very small group, with very specific input and feedback from each individual, allows you to really latch on with your knowledge to what it is that they would like to hear and what is relevant to them.
Mike, that was great. Thanks a lot for talking to me.
My pleasure.